Okay, I'm going to demonstrate two separate tools to do one specific job that I want here. So I've got my point cloud. What I want to do first is use this tool right here. So this is going to be sectioning these out. There are a couple of things that I can do that are really interesting with this tool. One is I can build profiles. So if I wanted to build a profile of the campus, I could come through and I could set exactly the thickness that I want. I can use these to rotate it around. I can use this one to translate it. I can drag these sliders to be more or less or whatever I need. I can also set these thicknesses to whatever I want. So if I wanted this to be specifically, like let's say 10 meters, then I can dial it in precisely how I want it to be. When I get done, what I want to do is export the selection as a new entity. Now, there's some other advanced features that I can do, so I can do this repeatedly over multiple dimensions, but I'm just going to keep it simple, and we're going to export this as a new entity. The nice thing about that is I still have my original point cloud completely intact, so that's a little bit different than something like the segmentation tool. But as I come in here, I get this, and I can use these views on the side to start getting a sense of exactly what that looks like. Now, I'm in perspective mode, which makes these profiles look a little bit strange. And so if I hit F3, or if I go up to display and do the same thing, toggle centered perspective, I can actually get a perspective off view and see the whole thing as if I'm sort of an orthographic view from the side, so to speak. So F3 turns that on and off. Here it's on, and I'm sort of looking crossways at it. And here it is off. This isn't exactly what I wanted to do here, so we're going to come back and I'm going to draw a new profile for the section of campus that I want. So we'll just bring this bounding box in. So I find this very useful to just sort of get a sample. As you bring these pieces in, you can just move these sliders down and get maybe a more manageable chunk that you want to work with without destroying in any way the original. So we're going to zoom in on this here, and it's a lot more responsive because it's a lot fewer points. So what I wanted to demonstrate next, and here I've got actually the viewer perspective turned off. We can turn it back on again. That makes it look a little bit more natural, sort of parallel looking lines here. On is great for this orthographic view directly overhead at all points. I can come here and do that, and sometimes that's a useful perspective. But in this case, I do want to look at it in perspective view. It's a little bit more natural. So what I wanted to demonstrate next was how we can sort of make some measurements about the heights of things. So oftentimes this comes because we want to do something like measure trees. So you can do that pretty easily in CloudCompare. So there's a point measurement tool right here, and you can get individual measurements about each thing. Oftentimes this is a good idea, so we'll just hit yes here. I can get the coordinate z value, which is often what I'm interested in. But I also get sort of the local coordinates. I get the transformed coordinates, and the normal coordinates if I care about that. What I want to do here is demonstrate what that looks like if I want to measure the height of a building. So I select my data set. I'm using my point picking tool. And for instance, this is the rooftop of a building here. And in fact, I'm having a little bit of trouble here, so I'm going to declare my rotation center to be right here with this tool. That's often a handy thing if the cloud's not moving exactly the way you like. And so now as I move, it moves about that point that I'm interested in. So let's say I wanted to measure the height of that rooftop. So I can sort of pretty clearly see that my ground is here, my rooftop is there. I could go back in here and adjust my color scheme a little bit to make this a little bit more visible, but not necessary, but nice little extra there. What we want to do is use this bit here, which is to select 2 points. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to select this ground point, and I'm going to select a roof point. Now, if I look at that point, it's diagonal, but one of the things that I get here that's really useful is I get the distance between these, so it's 10 meters and change right here. but I also get the delta x, the delta y, and the delta z. So I can isolate the height of that building with the delta z 7.69 meters. And if I wanted to sort of take a couple of repeat observations, I could do that, right? So 7.9, 7.9, 7.89, 7.7, and so on. So we're sort of getting a sense that we've got sort of maybe a little bit of ground sloping here, and that changes the height of the building relative. We can also measure trees, right? So we've got a tree right here. We can measure the top of it, and we get a distance of 8.55. That doesn't really matter so much. Again, that's on the diagonal. But I get a vertical height here of 6.42. And that's what makes this tool quite useful. And if you don't quite get the point that you want, you can always just try again. So both of these tools come in very handy. Plenty of time to demonstrate both point picking, using point picking to get a measurement, and then the box tool to extract little sections that you might want.